as enjoyable as fishing can be, it can also be just as frustrating. When hooking a fish that you have a 0% chance of catching, it can be one of the most annoying experiences. In this video, I will teach you how to avoid this and everything else that I've learned in the course of catching over 2,000 fish. You'll learn everything you need to know, from how to not waste your bait to how to farm up to 60 improved bait per hour. And at the end, a trick Angry Turtle and Mr. Westtech both missed in their videos, which is how I farmed every single fishing rod mod in a single day. Before we get into it though, if you find this video helpful, or just enjoy this type of content, feel free to drop a like and subscribe for more. A few quick things to note. The simple Catch Any Fish challenge resets back to 1 once you complete the challenge. So, after catching 15, you'll have to catch an additional 76. After that, another 250. And after that, a final 760, for a grand total of 1,101 fish to complete those challenges and get that title. This goes the same for the other fishing challenges as well. So, if you want the Mirelurk, Angler, and Crab Boat plushies, that'll be a grand total of 49 days of doing that daily challenge. Another thing to note, these challenges are character based and will not carry over to other characters. Also, no adventure progress will be gained on custom worlds. One final note is that the fish generator in the Atomic Shop will not count towards your challenges either. Now let's get into the guide. If you are starting a new character, or you're just new to Fallout 76, there is a new note outside of the vault, which if you walk down the stairs, it will be right there stabbed into a barrel. Interacting with this note will open the fast travel point Fisherman's Rest, which is located on the east side of the map. You can start your fishing journey by traveling to Fisherman's Rest, which will be free to fast travel to once discovered, just east of Valerie Galleria in the mire. Once there, interact with the fisherman, who will point you to the captain. Starting your quest, casting off. Simply head back to the fisherman and get your new fishing gear. This rod is bound to your character and is not visible in the inventory. The only way that you can modify the rod is through the Tinkerer's Workbench. There will be an option to repair your rod, but the devs have stated that this is not intended, and will do nothing to increase your chances of fishing. Also, there is a variable of the rod that you can craft, but that is for display purposes only. Now that we got that out of the way, to complete this quest, simply head over to the fishing pier and catch 3 fish. Now that you have your rod, to start fishing, head to any body of water and you will now have a new prompt to fish. Now it's time to choose your bait. I highly recommend only using common bait until you get a better fishing rod. Using any bait that is higher quality will result in it being wasted, as you will not be able to capture the fish that you hook, due to your fishing rod being inefficient. My recommendation would be to save all of your improved bait that you acquire doing daily fishing quests, public events, and caravans until you have to catch the mandatory axolotl to level up your fishing rod. Though, if you do farm up a lot of improved bait using this guide, feel free to use it, as it will make catching regional fish all the more easy. After choosing your bait and casting your lure, fish will gently nibble until they are hooked. This will be indicated by your bobber completely submerging. When a fish does bite, notice that the way the bobber is pulled will give you a heads up as to where the fish will be located on the circle. Once the fish is hooked, you will have to do your best to keep the fish within the catch radius. This can be done by using the joystick, or as another option, use the directional pad. This will not be easy, as your first rod will be very inefficient. You may want to give up, but don't. It's all about patience. Once you have an upgraded rod and the proper attachment, you'll be catching rare, difficult fish in no time. Once your 3 fish are caught, head back to the captain and talk to him. Additionally, you have the option to turn the fish into fish bits before you talk to the captain. But if not, he will want you to go to the cooking pot, turn the fish into fish bits, and then feed them to Linda Lee. Once you've done that, return to the captain once more to complete your quest. Now, with your fishing quest complete, you will be rewarded with 5 improved bait, 10 common bait, and the recipe for grilled fish. 100 common bait can be purchased from both the captain and the fisherman for 5 caps each. This can be reduced all the way down to 3 caps depending on your charisma stat. As for grilled fish, it will reduce the time it takes to hook a fish, saving you loads of time. Crafting grilled fish, though, will require fish bits, of course, and salt. Salt can easily be obtained throughout the wasteland, 7 being found at the White Springs Golf Club, another 7 being found at the Brown House in Skyline Valley, 5 are scattered throughout Helvetia, 5 at Bolton Greens, and another 5 at their General Steakhouse. And that's just to name a few. Consuming grilled fish will give you a temporary 20-minute buff that will reduce the time it takes for a fish to bite. This will of course increase the amount of fish you catch per hour. And if you use the Super Dupe perk in Luck, while crafting grilled fish, you have a 30% chance to craft double the amount. If you craft too many though, don't worry. These can be stored in your inventory with the Good with Salt perk located in Luck, or in your stash box with a cryo freezer or at least a refrigerator. Now, let's talk about upgrading your fishing rod. You will start off with a janky rod, then upgrading it to the Mark 1, 2, 3, and to the 4. This will be done by completing player-bound challenges, specifically Fish Quest 1 through 4. These challenges will have you catching every type of fish in the wasteland, except for those local legends. And, with each one that you complete, your chances of catching one of these legendary fish will grow stronger. To further upgrade your rod, you will need the proper attachment. There are currently 7 in total, but only one that I personally recommend, which is the Advanced Drag mod. Sadly though, these mods are only obtained at a 20% chance and only by completing a daily fishing quest, which can only be completed once per day and once per player. Stick around to the end though, and I'll teach you my secret method to get them all. Since we are on the topic, let's talk about the daily fishing quest. To start the quest, simply interact with Captain Raymond. Once you agree to help him and his fishy friend, you will start the daily quest, Big Fish in a Small Pond. This quest will task you with catching 7 fish from one of the 7 regions of Appalachia: the Forest, Toxic Valley, Ash Heap, the Savage Divide, the Mire, Cranberry Bog, and Skyline Valley. Before you head out to a region to catch a fish, let me teach you about how weather affects fishing. Just like using different bait, fishing in different weather will give you different odds of catching different fish. During clear weather, you will have the lowest chances of catching rare fish like regional fish or an axolotl. If you are catching generic fish, then this is the best weather to do it in. I do recommend fishing in clear weather when starting out, as it will give you better chances of getting easy to catch fish instead of something that you nor your rod are prepared for. If you're aiming to catch uncommon regional fish, the best choice for you is to fish in the rain. While it is raining, these fish will have an increased spawn chance. And finally, the best way to catch any glowing fish, and the axolotl, is to simply fish during irradiated weather. I will go into further detail as to how to guarantee the best fishing weather shortly, but you could always just stand around and wait for it to rain. Since we are on the topic of weather, now would be a great time to cover what a portable camp is and how to make one for fishing, along with all the benefits of having one. Having a portable camp is a good idea for many reasons. If you aren't a Fallout First member, a portable camp can be a free substitute to a survival tent. Even better, in fact. Survival tents usually only come with a single workbench that may not be the one you need. With a portable camp, you could, in theory, place down every single workbench that you could ever need inside of a shelter, if you don't mind a little bit of loading screens. In other words, the idea of a portable camp is 100% customizable to you and your needs. When creating a portable camp, specifically for fishing, the key things you will want to have as part of your build will be a tinkerer's workbench to modify your rod, a cooking station so that you can make fish bits or grilled fish if necessary, and if you're lucky enough to have one, a cryo freezer to store your extra grilled fish. Though there is a refrigerator that will reduce the spoilage of your food by 50%, this is only purchasable for atoms. The cryo freezer, on the other hand, will reduce the spoilage of your food to 0% and also can be purchased for 1,250 gold bullion from Mortimer with a rated reputation of at least cautious. Now for the most important part of the entire portable camp, a weather station. Like discussed earlier, weather can have an insanely positive effect on your fishing luck. For example, when fishing in clear weather with improved bait, an axolotl has a 3% chance. When fishing for the axolotl with the same bait in rainy weather though, that chance doubles to 6%. So, if you're going to spend some improved bait, it's definitely worth doubling your chances. Here is where fishing starts to get a little pricey. If you were around for the previous seasons, then you most likely acquired the Clear Weather Station, and also the Nuke Weather Station from the last season. The only weather station that hasn't been given to us for free is any rainy weather station. One of these weather stations will run you about 1,200 atoms, and none of these stations have gone on sale since their inception. So, if you want rain on demand, you're going to have to fork over 1,200 atoms. Let's quickly discuss the conditions for clear, rainy, and nuked weather. Clear skies are pretty self-explanatory. Anytime there is no active weather system. Rainy weather is, obviously, anytime it is raining or when one of the following camp weather stations is active: the thunderstorm, snow, or snow aurora weather stations. And lastly, nuked weather, which counts as a rad storm, a nuke storm, or when one of the following weather systems is active: the Mothman, Nuke Zone, or Skyline Valley weather station. Another option that you have is finding a friend, or just another random player who has a weather station already down. If you are looking for a fishing camp, then keep an eye out for a boat or pond camp icon. Now that you know all there is about fishing, it's time to teach you how to farm those fishing rod mods as many times as you want per day. Though you can only do the daily quest once per day per character, there is a loophole, and that is creating a new character. Simply create a new character, go through exiting the vault, interact with the Angler's Note, travel to Fisherman's Rest, finish the quest, casting off, and then finish the daily quest, big fish in a small pond. Then you will be rewarded handsomely with 10 improved bait and a 20% chance to get one of those fishing rod mods. Now that you have your improved bait and hopefully a rod mod that is useful, all you have to do is either drop it to yourself on a private server, or if you don't have one, then find a friend that you of course trust. Once you get the hang of it, this process will only take about 10 minutes, allowing you to achieve 60 improved bait per hour and 6 chances at those rod mods per hour as well. Congratulations! You are now fully equipped with everything you could possibly need to know about fishing, with the bonus information of how to get these rod mods early and to avoid a lot of hassle and wasted time. I spent a lot of work on this guide, and I really hope it was helpful. If you did find it helpful, then please leave a like and subscribe. Let the community know if you have any helpful tips in the comment section below. I hope your fishing adventures are efficient. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching.